Welcome to Jesus, the fulfillment of prophecy. If Jesus simply appeared in history without preparation, he would not be credible. Christianity does not begin with a surprise ending. It begins with a promise, and then another promise, across centuries. For centuries, across generations, God was telling a story, and that story was always pointing to Jesus. The Bible is not a story of humanity finding God. It is the story of God promising rescue. Let's explore some of the key prophecies concerning Jesus, starting in the book of Genesis. The very first whisper of the gospel appears in Genesis chapter 3, verse 15, promising a wounded deliverer and a crushed serpent. In Genesis chapter 12, God promises Abraham, "In you all the families of the earth shall be blessed." This promise finds its ultimate fulfillment in Christ. The prophetic story continues with covenants made to kings and visions given to prophets. In 2 Samuel chapter 7, God makes a covenant with David, promising an eternal king and an everlasting kingdom. Centuries later, Israel waited for the son of David. A shocking revelation came in Isaiah chapter 53, describing a suffering servant who would be despised, rejected, and pierced for our transgressions. The Messiah would conquer by sacrifice, not the sword. The prophets also foretold the Messiah's very identity and birthplace. Daniel saw a vision of one like a son of man, given dominion and glory and a kingdom. This is the title Jesus used most often for himself, claiming to be the divine ruler. Even the birthplace was foretold in Micah chapter 5, verse 2. "But you, O Bethlehem, from you shall come forth for me one who is to be ruler in Israel, whose coming forth is from of old, from ancient days." Bethlehem was covenant fulfillment. Psalm chapter 22 describes piercing, mocking, and divided garments. Written nearly 1,000 years before Roman crucifixion even existed, Jesus quoted it on the cross, identifying himself as the fulfillment. These promises weren't scattered by accident. They were orchestrated by God. After his resurrection, Jesus interpreted to his disciples in all the scriptures the things concerning himself. The entire story was always about him. Over 300 prophecies converge in one person. This is not coincidence or vague symbolism. This is divine orchestration across centuries. Jesus did not force himself into the story. He is the fulfillment of the story. Christianity is built on fulfillment. God made promises, and God kept them. The long-awaited King has come. If God kept his promises about Christ, you can trust him with the promises in your life. Will your story be about him too?